Alrighty, you may notice I'm in a different house. Anyway, just going to explain a little bit about how to use these little jiggers. If you don't want to be a bucket cheddar, if you don't want to be using this bag to have a shit in that, or some other 5-gallon glory, you might want to use one of these. Now, I have been seeing a couple of Chinese knockoffs of these, equivalent of about 75 US dollars. This one, of course, is a little bit dearer. You can see my phone tab giving you a bit of a shadow on the side there. Interesting. You have different chemicals. You can get ripped off over chemicals, or you can go to some cheap auto parts stores and you'll get them dramatically cheaper. I really wouldn't recommend buying the stuff that is recommended because it'll cost a fortune. And you can get the proper stuff for a quarter or 1/5 the price without a problem from the right auto parts stores. So that is your shitter. There's your lid. That's what you fill your water into. That's what it will flush with. There's a certain ratio. It's got a bit of a rundown here on the back of the lid. You have some that have a big shaft that comes up and it's like a pump on a shaft, and this one, which is a bellow styles, and I couldn't work out what that little thing was, and then I worked it out. That's actually where your water comes from, and it squirts and it spirals around and it basically does its thing. You have a little tab here that needs to come out. Now, as that comes out, you've opened up the hole. You've not only opened up the hole, you've also opened up, when it wants to stay out, you've opened up another little air breather tab thing as well. The best way that I'm told by someone else who's used one of these quite a bit of time is to open that up. They say you can have that pushed in and shit, but it just makes an absolute mess apparently. You're best to open it up, throw a bit of toilet paper over there, so as you shit, it doesn't cause skid marks on the back, it just actually hits the toilet paper. Then when you've done, pump the handle and close again, and you should be right. That's pretty much all there is to it, except for taking off. Now, you have a little piece in the back here, and that tab goes that way. So basically you put the tab back towards your fill point and then lift, but only lift the back a certain amount of the way and then push forwards, because you've got these tabs. And then as you go to put it on, you've got to put the front on first and sort of sit it and then pull it back a bit, and then she'll click in place as you drop it down. But if you don't understand those tabs, you're likely to break something. Okay, so I'll take it off and I'll show you what it's like. You can go and sit that upside down or whatever. There's your actual closing piece. You're supposed to have something, not Vaseline apparently, but there's some other stuff you can sometimes get at RV shows. It looks like Vaseline, it's almost like a chapstick type stuff, and you put it on there to lubricate it. If you buy the fancy pants one they have, it's supposed to have lubricant in their water, but of course that's going to be 5 times the cost of using the other stuff, which is basically it's just ammonia salts, and you'll see that when you get the cheap stuff in an RV store. They claim theirs has a lubricant, but how much it has is another thing. When the time all comes, you're supposed to turn this like so, or like so, and you basically undo this, and you've got an O-ring on the back of this, and you just pour out. And you're supposed to refill it 2 or 3 times with water. blah blah, and tip it back around. You got a little lug there so you don't sort of, but that's yeah, I don't know, but I think you're supposed to hold that button down to let air in as that pours out so it doesn't glug and spatter. I think from memory you're supposed to hold that button down. You can actually, there we go, there's a carry handle on this thing somewhere. Ah, yes. As you go on there, you carry it like that. And you'll see that white carry handle. That's not the one you pull out for that. That's over there. It's one on the back. Easy way to work it out is your fill pour out is at the same end your handle's at. So that, of course, you're not walking along the ground with a bad O-ring dripping it all over the damn ground. But anyway, that's a better option than your 5-gallon bucket glory. And this one isn't the smallest, it's the second smallest, 165. Gives you 15 litre top tank, 21 litre bottom tank. We're talking about 3¼ gallons and 4.5. So yeah.